So of course, one of the major highlights, Baselworld, every year, and no exception 2018, is the Patek Philippe collection. And everybody very quickly gets to Patek Philippe's presentation to see the new complications, the new innovations, and the new stunning watches that only Patek Philippe do. We'll be talking to you about the Golden Ellipse, a Nautilus, grand complication, and another grand complication with a minute repeater, the 5208. Just to get us going, Dave, tell us about the reintroduction in some ways of the Golden Ellipse.
Every year, Brian, Basel starts on a Thursday. However, my phone goes into meltdown the day before, for at midday on the Patek.com website, they launch their new novelties. This year they've launched 13 watches. Now, the watch that I picked out first of all was the Golden Ellipse, and I was really excited to see it when I got to the fair the following morning. Trust me when I tell you, it blew me away. The Golden Ellipse, they've refreshed this range of late because they used to have the reference 3738, which they discontinued last year, leaving the existing Platinum, which they launched for the 40th anniversary 10 years ago. This is the 50th anniversary, and this offering is in rose gold and black. It's Patek's thinnest movement, it's 5.9 millimeters. It's their caliber 240 movement. It's got a black cabochon on the button and stem, beautiful black dial, and it's just very classic, simplistic. I mean, this is the ultimate black tie watch. It's going to come out in summertime. Obviously, already we've been oversubscribed with orders, and it's £23,620.
And the dial slightly bigger than the previous?
It is, Brian, yes. It's a Patek measured the oval ellipse dial in two measurements. It's the 34.5 to the 39.5 millimeters, which is larger than the original 3738 reference.
Our next watch we're going to talk about, the Nautilus 5740, and again, so like Patek Philippe, to take what is a sport watch and introduce this level of complication and interest in the technical development in a watch.
Yes. Now, when I first saw the Perpetual calendar Nautilus on the website on the Wednesday, I thought to myself, this one could potentially divide opinion. You put in a complication into a sports watch. 20 seconds later, how wrong I was, because that's when the calls started coming in for this model. So when I saw it in the flesh, it's absolutely beautiful. It's a grand complication, as you mentioned, Nautilus. The thing for me which is so clever here is the Nautilus 5711 is 8.3 millimeters thick. The new 5740G, white gold one we see here, is only 8.42 millimeters. It's 1.2 millimeters thicker than the classic. So you have all the boxes ticked here. In this watch you have the iconic Nautilus sports watch with a grand complication Perpetual calendar. I should really be sitting here putting everybody off this watch, because this in the Patek range has been the one which we are getting inundated with supply, with requests for this watch. It retails, it's going to come out at £91,150, and we're expecting first deliveries to come at the end of summer, start of autumn, but massive demand for this.
So Dave, we're used to you being very excited about watches, about Aston Villa, which maybe excites you a wee bit less now these days, but you're most excited when we arrive in Basel, and when you and Mark Tolson get to see the product finally live, the great complications that Patek are providing. So we did get a look and a quick chat with you as you come out of seeing Patek for the first time. Let's take a look at it.
We've just come off Patek Philippe, where we've seen 13 beautiful new references. The thing I loved when I went in there the most was the new Ellipse rose gold, the classic Ellipse.
It's beautiful, yeah, fantastic black dial.
We can never get sufficient supply from Patek to meet the demand, but it will mean a very good year for Patek. It'll mean a very interesting year for the UK, and I think our customers are going to love the products they've produced. Amazing.
So you can see from that how much these guys really love their job. They also earn a lot of money, which probably helps that as well. But they do love what they do. I'm sure you sense their enthusiasm with everything that they do. Finally, talking about enthusiasm, the ultimate grand complication that we got from Patek, minute repeater 5208 in rose gold, another fabulous watch.
In this watch, you pretty much have everything, Brian. You can see the clear apertures on the dial, which give you the day, the date, the month. You have at the sub dial at 3 o'clock at the very bottom there, you have it takes into consideration the leap year. You've got the chronograph facility from the mono pusher, which is up there at 2 o'clock. You have the minute repeater slide mechanism, which is on the left-hand side of the case. And you know, the head watchmaker at Patek Philippe is, you know, the head watchmakers make this watch, and it takes a hell of a long time. And this is horological excellence. Put my teeth in.
Easy for you to
Horological
say,
excellence, basically.
And just the last thing, we've referenced it a few times, that it's a minute repeater, which is amazing for us, but maybe not all of our viewers would know what a minute repeater's about.
Okay, well basically the minute repeaters were used before electricity, so you're able to understand what time it is in the dark. So you know, when you slide the slide piece on the left hand side of the case, it'll chime for the hours, and then for the quarters, and then for the individual minutes also. I could do basically go through ding ding ding, but I won't embarrass myself on that
hold
one.
that for some other time. But I think amazingly the mechanical complication here amazes us completely. Yeah. But in addition, with a minute repeater, you've got to get the sound perfect as well.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Stern himself sits and listens to every single one.
Every single one, and another key point as well. Rose gold has got a great resonance for minute repeaters, so this will tick the box in terms of getting a very clarity of sound. This will be really good.
So a stunner for all you watch lovers out there, an absolute stunner too. Look at it on your screen. It's probably as close as most of us will get to it, but a really fabulous development, and will be one of the most desirable watches now, and I think for many years to come. So Patek Philippe, highlight of Basel 2018. Wonderful to see. Thanks, Dave. Join us for other videos when we're reviewing the other great brands that we saw at Baselworld 2018.